it'll show you which way you throw them. So if it has a little gray area, that means you threw them that way, so that the knob's down. So you choose what this looks like. This is a huge piece right here. The two measurements I need on this particular one are this outside and that inside. The inside is far more important than the outside. The outside you can trim. The inside, if you go too small, it's going to wobble around. If you go too big and the flange is thick, you can trim it, but you can't really add clay to it. So this is a lot of clay for this. On Friday, we will talk about bats and what you can do with a bat. Okay, it's still a lot of clay. So let's do, okay, if we're gonna make number 3, we can throw it as a bowl with a very thick bottom and trim that lid, that knob, or we can throw it as a bowl and add a knob. Or you can throw it the other way so it's flat and then trim it concave. There's so many ways to do this. So we're gonna throw this as a thick bottom. So my outside is gonna be, okay, so that's good. And my inside is gonna be here, perfect. Okay. So I'm going to come in here and create a hole. The bottom needs to be thick. So when I measure this, where my tool, that measurement, that is the outside rim. So I have to have clay on the inside of that tool. So I open this up, and now I'm going to do this. I'm going to push down and in. That was an odd sound. Down and in. I'm going to take my measurements. Okay, and do you see how my calipers are on the outside of that now? That means it'll sit in there. Now, I usually want that to be a little tighter than that. So you can trim it up so it fits perfectly. Because you don't want it to be wobbly all over the place. But I'm going to show you what this looks like. So if you can sort of see this, this should fit straight down on that. Okay, that hole. All right, so I'm going to pull this out just a tiny bit. Okay, my wood rib. Now the outside is there, and it should taper just a little bit. I'm just going to come in here, push that down, and then trim that. Now, it's really thick and really wide. My knob is not going to be that wide. So once I get my measurements set, trim it just a tiny bit more. Again, it's better to have it just a little bit big than too small. Okay, so from there, now, there's a lot of clay. I could cut that straight off, and I have a lot of options on my knob, including carving. So I could come in here and sculpt something out of this if I wanted to. I'm thinking like a fish or something like that. I know I'm not going to do that, but so I'm going to come in here and taper in just a little bit. Now, for you, as you're doing this, I would recommend for every pot you throw, you make 2 or 3 lids. Okay, I would recommend that. The reason for that is you're going to be able to adjust them, you're going to mess some up. I would also recommend that you write down your measurements, whether that is lining this up on the board and making marks, or measuring that and going, that is 2 1/3 inches or whatever. That way, if you do mess up, you can go back. When you are making, let's say I come back on Friday and I can't find any of my lids, but this is leather hard. If I measure to that leather hard piece and throw to that, my lid is going to be small, because when it completely dries, it's going to be small. So we're going to trim that up. That's going to sit right down in there like that. Now, I don't want it to sit, they're both so wet, I don't want it to sit like that right now. So I'm going to take that out. But do you see how that works? And then I have all this option here of cleaning this into whatever it is I want it to be for a knob. I can trim it in out, I can go straight up, I can cut it down. It's a good start. Any questions there? Okay, so that's it for today. Look through your packet and figure out what you want to accomplish on Friday, and we'll demo. We're going to be doing some stuff on hand building. We're going to be doing stuff on wheel throwing. It should be good.